welcome. My name is Chris from ChristopherHole.com. Welcome to this podcast where we're going to be answering the question, what is fitness? Now, this isn't necessarily a question that I get asked on a regular basis, but it is a question that I find myself having to answer in order to bring a better context to a question that has been asked of me directly by a person, if that makes sense. So, in order to answer the question, we're going to first of all look at three sort of supplementary questions. The first one being, how is fitness understood today? So how do the general public understand fitness? Because it's generally the general public that are asking me about fitness, and this is a question that I have to answer in order to help them understand that. Then we're going to look at sort of like a textbook definition of what fitness is. And then finally, we're going to bring it all together and look at how does one get fit based on these, or this sort of perspective on fitness, if you will. Now, before we get to the start of answering this question, I just want to mention my social channels, which is on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. If you go to Facebook, type in Christopher Hole Training, you can like and follow on there, and then you've got Twitter and Instagram, which is at Christopher Hole. Please do come along, like and follow on any of those. Alternatively, come to the website, go to Christopher Hole Training /join, put your name and email address in, and sign up to the monthly newsletter, which is jam-packed full of more education like this, questions being answered, but under the topic, anything that falls within health and fitness, so injuries, illness, nutrition, healthy mind, healthy body, exercise, specific exercises, exercise techniques, so on and so forth. The list is endless. I could go on for a long time on that. But yes, please do come along and sign yourself up to that. It'd be great to answer any of your questions. So, coming back to what is fitness and answering that question, we have to first answer the question, how is fitness understood today? So when I go and speak to people, that might be on a one-to-one basis, or it might be on a one-to-group basis in a workshop or something like that. Generally, we get on to the question of fitness, and when I'm sort of trying to understand their perspective of fitness, it normally comes back to a sport or an athlete that they're comparing themselves to. They want to be as fit as this person, or they want to be fit to play this sport. And that's where most of the general public are looking to get, if that makes sense. Now, what we have to understand is that these, or sports and athletes that take part in sports, those are people taking part in specific activities. So they are there to complete a specific task. So I describe this as a sport-specific fitness, which is not necessarily an overall fitness, which is something that the general public would need more so than sport-specific. Because if we then move on to asking the question, what is fitness, we then have to bring in the body. And how does the body work? And how does the body want to work? Well, one thing we know from the body, if you look at the anatomy, if you look at certainly biomechanics, it wants to be adaptable. If you look at some of your joints, they can do a lot of things. If you look at a sport, it may be doing just a few specific things. So to have a healthy and fit body, then you need to be able to do a lot of things to fulfill what the joints can do. If you just do a sport, it might just require a few specific movements or a few specific tasks that need to be completed. So from the general public's perspective, or from anyone's perspective, from the human body perspective, if you will, what is needed is an overall fitness first. Now, if, again, we look at the dictionary's definition of what is fitness, what we're looking at, or how it reads, is the quality of being suitable to fulfill a particular role or task. So in general life, anything could happen. We walk down the pavement, we walk up some steps, we carry something, we lift something, we push a door open, we pull ourselves up onto something, we get up out of a car, which is an unusual movement. It's not necessarily quite a linear movement. we need to rotate, we need to push, we need to pull, we need to lift, we need to carry, we need to walk, and we need to run. So we need all of those tasks. We need to be able to complete all of those tasks in all different directions as well. It's not just going forward, but it's going sideways, it's rotating, it's all these different things. So from the general public's perspective, or from a overall fitness of the body, we need to be able to complete a lot of different tasks in different ways. So when we're talking about fitness, we need to be able to fulfill or have a degree of certain components. Things like strength, endurance, so muscular strength and muscular endurance, cardiovascular fitness, speed, power, reaction time, things like that. So we need these different components just to have an overall fitness. What we're not doing at the moment is we're not trying to enhance or accentuate on just one of them. When we move into a sport, then we enhance one of them. So if we want overall fitness, we need to be able to complete all of those components in multiple directions. So our exercise and our training would look like that. When we then think, right, I want to now complete a 10K or a half marathon or a marathon, we then need to enhance the cardiovascular fitness, but we still need to maintain a base of overall fitness, because if we don't maintain that base of overall fitness, we leave ourselves open to injury or illness in everyday life, if you will, because it's that's going to cause us the injury, not necessarily the running. So it's being able to understand where we sit in the spectrum of fitness. First of all, we need an overall fitness. We need to be able to survive life, if you will, and then what we need to build on top of that is a sport-specific fitness. So in some ways, I've kind of already answered the third question, which is how does one get fit? Well, number one, you need an overall fitness, which is all of those components: strength, muscular endurance, cardiovascular fitness, speed, power, all those different types of things. We need to have a degree of all of that. We don't need to be the master of it. We just need a degree of it so we can complete it when required in everyday life. Then what we need is we can then start building on top of that into a sport-specific fitness. So what I'm trying to say is, number one, build overall fitness in all different directions. And then number two, build your sport-specific fitness on top. That then becomes more logical. It fits more with how the body wants to work, and it fits more with lifestyle, and then the sport that comes second. So hopefully that's made or brought a little bit more of a perspective to fitness, and hopefully it's helped you understand your exercise program or your exercise regime a little bit better. You can go away, apply what has been mentioned, go and research it a little bit more, and then take it into the gym, and then hopefully you can progress that with your fitness that much more. So many thanks for listening. My name is Chris from ChristopherHole.com. I will speak to you in a future podcast.